Super Senpai Podcast. Welcome to the Super Senpai Podcast. This is a bi-weekly, episodic, tokusatsu-related podcast where we're hecka excited about mecha. I'm Pat.
And I'm Grant. And with us today is very special friend of the podcast, Daisy Ein.
Hi.
Woo! Welcome to the show. We're so excited to have you, Daisy.
Yes.
What?
I said we're so excited to have you.
Oh, thank you. Do I sound nervous? I'm a little nervous. But hi, thank you for having me.
It's only an audience of 2 right now. We're fine. So no judgment. It's all good. So since you are new to the podcast, why don't you tell us just a little bit about your background with tokusatsu?
Oh, goodness. Let's see. I guess this isn't going to sound very cool, but I loved Power Rangers as a kid. And then somehow I just decided, hey, I'm just going to check it out in Japanese. And I was like, this is good. It's kind of funny because, like, first I was
Good
like...
reaction?
Yeah, like, I was like, all right, I'll look at Zoo Ranger because, you know, it'd be cool to see those characters again. And I was just like, oh, this is good. So I thought maybe it was exclusively good. And I checked out some Tokuger and I was like, no, this is good. this is all good. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Oh, and
that's the
I love
right
Jetman.
place to be coming from. So you got started early on with the Power Rangers like the rest of us. Were you there with that first wave, the Mighty Morphin wave?
Yes, I was.
What other series have you have any experience with, like, say, like Kamen Rider or Ultraman or anything like that? Or are you exclusively a Sentai head?
I don't, actually, and I feel like I'm kind of, sort of, newly back into it. Like, I wasn't one of those kids who stuck around with Power Rangers for long. Like, once Jason left, I was like, smell you later. Red is my thing. I absolutely love Red. That's, like, across all series. I don't know. I don't know. So, it was later, like several years later, as an adult, that I was like, hey, I have fond memories of this. And then it was like, oh, this is irrationally good. So it's kind of a rebirth thing for me, I guess.
Isn't it for all of us? We're just finding ourselves again as adults.
Yes.
Just large children.
Yes. Turns out I still love men in red suits. Who knew?
Well, we're really excited for you to be here. It's going to be fun journeying back in. You're actually going to be more experienced with Jetman than we too, so looks like you're going to be guiding us.
Yeah, I think she's the Super Senpai today.
Yes, she is. We are but wee little birds just trying to get out of the nest, and we'll see if we fly. But before we get into that, we wanted to talk a little bit about news stufferinos, news bits. So obviously we've moved to the bi-weekly format now, and like we said last episode, just in case you missed it, I assume we will have some new people showing up because Daisy is very cool and popular. So
Thank you.
So cool.
We do bi-weekly. We're following one show currently. We're following Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger, and we'll be doing one episode a month dedicated to that, where we'll cover the 4 episodes that happen that month, and then we're going to be alternating with these other episodes, which are going to be more special topics, things like watching a few episodes from another show, or doing a retrospective on another series, or a particular interview from a luminary in the community, whatever. So this is sort of our luminary. This is our wild card episode of the month. So in a couple weeks, expect us to be back. Expect us to be back talking about Lupin Ranger and Pat Ranger. In terms of the news, so some big things happening. It certainly has felt like Toku has been in the ascendant for a little while now, and we're seeing a lot more movement going on. Power Rangers, obviously, Beast Morphers is still coming down the pipe sometime soon. The adaptation of Go Busters, and so we're going to see that sometime, in the fall, but relatively soon as far as those things are concerned. Other big Power Rangers news, Power Rangers was sold entirely to Hasbro and is no longer owned by Saban Entertainment. That's kind of a big deal, gang.
It is.
Kind of a big one. Now, this is not the first time Saban has sold the brand, and it's certainly not the first time he's made a profit off of it, because I think he sold it to Disney in, 2001 or 2002? I want to say I think Wild Force was the first Disney season, was it not?
I think that sounds right.
I think they sold it either early in that or late in Time Force. I don't remember how it worked, but they sold it before for quite a hefty sum, and then he bought it back on the cheap from them a few years later. 2014 maybe? No, had to be earlier than that. 2011, 2012 maybe, because they did Megaforce and all that, and Samurai. So this is not the first time they've sold it, but they're selling it to Hasbro. Hasbro maybe certainly isn't quite, Disney level, but Hasbro has a number of, shall we say, nostalgic properties from people from that cohort, your G.I. Joes and Transformers and so on. And Hasbro certainly means business with what they do. You guys excited about this? Nervous about this? Undecided?
I'm leaning towards excited, I guess.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't bought Power Rangers toys in a long time, but I'm very interested in maybe scooping up some of that Go Busters, or Beast Morphers, as it were.
I think it's a pretty good thing. I'm not like, oh no, Hasbro.
Yeah. Yeah, my definite hope is that it will be something like what they've done with Wizards of the Coast and like things like Dungeons and Dragons. I can't speak for Magic the Gathering. I don't really know where that game's at, but I know Dungeons and Dragons is sort of a sub portion of the Hasbro sort of family, and it's probably doing the best that it's ever done, maybe even better than the early 80s heydays. So hopefully Power Rangers is allowed to flourish, and I hope Michael Bay doesn't touch it. Is that that's a recurrent hope. So we're also seeing another big release. Shout Factory, I believe, is putting out like sort of a complete set with nearly every series, if not every series up to this point, which is exciting. We've already had those series individually released, but the big sort of kicker for it, besides all the little special edition gubbins and all that stuff that they're going to include, is the fact that you're going to have the 95 movie on Blu-ray for the first time. So that will be included in that set.
That's pretty cool.
That is neat. Of course, you have to buy like a multi-$100 box of DVDs.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So if you're in it just for the Blu-ray, that's a pricey one. It's a very pricey Sad Raymond. It will cost you quite a bit to get that one.
Santa Claus, there you go.
Yeah, please Santa, if you can fit it in your sleigh. All 5 of the Morpher helmets. Wouldn't be the first time I asked Santa for Power Ranger stuff this decade. No. And then last but not least, and very fortuitous with this pod, we promised we didn't jump on this just for the new hotness. We had planned this in advance, but Shout Factory is going to be releasing Jetman on DVD.
Just super duper lucky with this one.
Yeah, just kind of the best, right? Like, I think it certainly was a surprise when they started releasing physical releases of Super Sentai anyway. That's just a big deal because I think the common wisdom was always like, well, people just want the Power Rangers or they won't, care enough to know what this is anyway, so why bother?
Yeah.
But they've been releasing it, and I think the general assumption is, well, how long will they keep going? Like, okay, well, if we can just get to X season of Power Rangers, I'll be happy. If we can just get to, Y season or whatever, that's the idea. Like, well, how far can we go? How many releases are we getting forward? And the idea was, they may never even go back. And they are going backwards now. They are heading back into the older seasons. That's kind of a real big deal.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, people were really thrown, I think, by it because I think seeing them, it sort of made sense for them to just move forward and not take this step. And I think people were like, well, I guess they're just not going to do it. Like, or at least until they catch up and then they'll go backwards. Like, it felt so far away.
Right. Yeah, that totally. Because we're seeing maybe 1 to 2 releases a year. We've got easily another dozen or so seasons to go. It's like, well, if we ever see it, it'll be years from now. So that's really surprising that they're splitting, which must mean, or maybe they're just horrible at business, but that must mean that they're seeing returns on this. So they want to keep going because they're sort of moving on 2 fronts now. But that was all the big news. Yeah, so that was the big stuff. So a lot happening, a lot going on. We've got a lot of the majors have legal streaming, or we're seeing more legal DVD releases and things like that. It's a good time for the spandex.
Yeah, it was pretty neat that I was like, hey, I just want to watch Super Ranger, and it was like, oh, it's right here. Awesome, that's fantastic. So exciting. Yeah,
them having and I guess that's another thing too that's so exciting because they've got all they've got, well, not all, but 5 of the seasons that they've put out, I think, so far, up through Mega Ranger, I want to say, is streaming on their site with no commercials. Wow. It's just kind of the best. It's just the best. Like, it's amazing.
Video on demand is here, baby.
Yeah.
It's not going away.
It's a good time to dig in and watch some good stuff.
I think that's a perfect segue, don't you?
Yeah. So let's dig in. So So do we, I guess history-wise, Pat, you've not seen any Jetman either?
0. Most was like the opening theme when we were trying to figure out.
It's a good
stuff.
opening theme. Oh.
It is. I have
Yes.
I have a Super Sentai playlist for when I go running, and that is one of my favorites. That and Deca Ranger always get me through that last mile.
Wow.
So, but no, I have not seen it either. Now, Daisy, have you seen the whole series?
I'm getting close.
Okay.
Close. I forget what episode. I want to say I'm at least, like, kissing the early 30s-ish, or late 20s. It's been a little while. Like, I haven't watched any in a couple weeks. They all kind of blurred into one gigantic, wonderful experience. Because I kind of binge-watched most of it. But yeah.
Well, great. So hopefully it'll be a little fresh for you then, too, because it's been a while since you've seen these. So, guys, ready to hop in there and watch those spandex birds punch some bad guys?
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
この番組は楽しい時を作るグループ PRT と TheComicFiend とご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
And we are back. That was a treat, guys. I'm thrilled. I'm delighted. I'm pleased. I ran out of positive
Are
things
you
to
feeling
say, but
birdonic?
I'm feeling those birdonic
Yeah,
waves.
my birdonic did not waver one bit during that entire... It was amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it too. I mean, I have some bird bias, but yes, definitely feeling the birdonic waves.
Yeah,
We're all bird brains tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. So, Pat, you want to hit us with a quick summary right quick before we get into
Yes.
ye old discussion?
So we got sort of introduced to the concept of Jetman in the first 2 episodes. They are sort of I was expecting it to be like an elite force thing, but it ended up being one elite soldier that is purposefully hit with birdonic waves. But in the middle of the process, Earth is attacked by the alien invaders, the Viren? 4 other random folks in Japan also get hit with the birdonic waves, and so we're sort of now building the team, trying to unite it to fight against the alien invaders. Some of them are a little bit more excited and willing to join the team, but we also, in episode 2, met Black Condor, who is
Hot.
just, he is not interested. But for the first episode, we got the first 3 Jetman sort of working together, repelling the force but not really defeating anything. And then in the second episode, we got all 5 of them really sort of united for the first time, but briefly, and defeating a powerful jet monster, a buff jet.
Jet with arms,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Jarms, I believe they're called.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Technical term.
Yes.
And we also at the head of everything, we have our commander. I don't know her name yet, but just this she's just a boss. Like, she is not slapping the red around and just just kill her. I'm this is great. I'm having a good time. Did I miss anything? I think that was mostly it, right?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. Certainly for my money, I really enjoyed it. Obviously we didn't get to see any giant robot action, but that's fine. The first 2 episodes were definitely just them sort of assembling the team, and the team still isn't totally solidified just yet. But what we got was really something. The energy, it's interesting, having done a couple episodes of the Cockpit Pod with Pats and Tom and Mike Dent and all those guys, having seen some Metal Heroes now, I really get kind of a Metal Heroes vibe, at least from just kind of the energy of the show. There's there's kind of a speed to it's not quite Metal Heroes level of insanity, but there's definitely some elements of it. You've got aliens that just show up from outer space and can shoot aliens out of portals, and all these really fast smash cuts from this to this to this to this. There's no pause. The Jetman is not taking a single moment to let you catch a breath. It's just things are happening all the time. It definitely has that kind of energy.
So, should I chime in on that?
Yeah.
Feel free.
Well, again, I've seen a lot more than just the first 2 episodes, so I kept wanting to scream out little things, because I feel like I was seeing things I guess, that I didn't notice the first time. But yeah, I think that assessment is pretty true for everything I've experienced from Jetman. It's very fast paced, and it's Jetman. I love it. I think it's great. I mean, I'm not super experienced with the series, like as in every single toku thing out there, but I love this. I would say it's my favorite. He's so good. Like, oh my goodness. I mean, I love my reds. We've established that, but I think this might be an exception. Black might be my favorite.
I feel like there's a lot to like up front. The set design feels really good. Like, it feels like they're using like real, like it felt like they're really on a ship. Like, it was a spaceship, but I think they were probably on some kind of boat or submarine. The locations that all of them were at when they got zapped with the Brodonic waves was really sort of a nice variety there. Like a mansion, a farm just on the road, and then a school. Just a lot of sets that I feel like we're going to see a lot of, because that sort of characterizes it's part of their personality a little bit. And just the suit design is nice. And I'm not I'm a little more experienced with the modern stuff, so seeing a stout yellow, that's I don't know why, but that's real cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. I'm like, whoa, big boy.
Yeah, generally speaking, I like yellow. And I'm saying that as someone who's seen a little more, but yeah, he's pretty cool. Like, I think, and again, I'm gonna not drop any spoilers or anything, but it gets surprisingly dramatic. Like, it just wasn't what I expected. First 2 episodes are like super, actiony, and that's exactly what I want, but sometimes Jetman does not have any chill. And I don't mean action-wise, I mean, like, sometimes it's like, we need to sit down and get in the robot. You know what I mean? But overall, it's fantastic, and I love it, and I felt like the characters were deeper than I expected. I mean, you probably don't get that out of the first 2, but yeah, fun stuff. Oh, did you mention the bad guy? The lady bad guy?
No, not yet. Not at all.
Okay,
no.
because
Oh my goodness.
that's kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's right. So in the beginning, we sort of lose the Red has a partner, a partner special agent that gets sucked out into space.
Rie, is that her name? Rie?
Yes. So Rie gets pulled out into space, and we just assume that she's gone, because I mean, of course. But it turns out when we see the full villain team assembled in probably one of the coolest ways, just walking out of space, like 3D space, and whatever heckin' direction they
Who
want.
needs physics?
Yeah, right? Forget about it. It turns out Rie has either been possessed or has been, is in control of one of the four generals. It seems like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But they're all very cool looking. Like, I like the designs a lot. I kind of want some, little figures of them or something, just because, wow, these designs are cool.
Little dude with sunglasses and headphones? Yes.
I think, was it Lego minifigure?
Yeah,
right?
little kid. And the fact that they slide to the side, that's just... It's so extra. I love it. And he just has the big, the Y-shaped antenna on the back. It's just perfect. It's very wonderful.
Yes.
And the way Weimar has this kind of Phantom of the Opera feel, and he's a villain because if he's on screen for 5 seconds, he's either laughing for the first 3 or last 3 of it. It doesn't matter. And
just one shot.
That opening when he's just yelling at everybody from space and from the clouds and from that guy's coffee. When he yelled at the guy from his coffee, that's a villain. That's a good villain who knows that it's really important to terrorize people for no reason. You just gotta be in somebody's coffee and be like, I'm watching you. That's a good space villain. And as a child, that's a good even though we are much older than children, it's a really good fear for a child too. Just I could be in your cup, little kid. It's good. That's the perfect kind of villainy. It could be anywhere, yelling at you about something. And he's got good mooks. I love that they kind of have they're in the all black, and then there's sort of nebula patterns kind of light up from within. That's a really good look, and lots of good shoulder pads in this show. The mooks have the little rounded ones, and the Jetman team has the little thinner. They're a little more crisp, I guess. The little shoulder bits that they've got going on. It's
I love
good.
that shoulder pads are like a talking point for you. That's amazing. Like,
no,
that's
it's
so
perfect.
good.
They're very good shoulder pads. They're nice.
I mean,
You know, and again, I don't have a huge background in these kinds of series, but I was actually really surprised with the villains in Jetman so far. Like, if you like the taste you've gotten, you'll probably really enjoy more of them because they do get time and they do get development. So it's like, hey, it's not just like, I'm bad and I'm in your coffee. There's actually some...
I'm bad, I'm in your coffee.
Yeah! Like, I just didn't expect more than... I mean, maybe that's a normal thing, but I didn't expect that, like, to get to know them better. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely good stuff. I mean, I don't mind my my Toku villains being a little mustache twirly, but if they've got depth too, I mean, that's great. I'll, toss it in there. But yeah, I think this is one of those things that Jetman, like, stands out so much to me, even having, before watching these episodes, because the core team suits are just too good. They're so clean and simple, and they are so very clearly a 5-man team. Like, they don't look like 5 individuals standing next to each other, and yet each one of them has slight differences to the suit, whether it's yellow being slightly larger or blue and pink both have like slight different color palette swaps. On like I think pink has, instead of having pink shoulder guards, they're like white shoulder guards, like most of her costume. Like just enough differentiation that they're not carbon copies, but they're still very simple designs. Like you don't have to like look at it and go, what the heck am I looking at? Which again, I'm enjoying Kamen Rider, but a lot of the current crops of suits and stuff like that are very busy. There's a lot going on, and it's almost sort of refreshing to come back to something where it's just like, nope, a couple colors, couple strong, geometric lines, and bam, like it just, the only thing that really even sets them out as birds, other than the little sort of like frill bits between their, or like the feather bits between their armpits, is the beak on the helmet. Otherwise, it doesn't really sell the bird motif quite so strongly. It's a little more
understated.
Yeah, understated. That's a good word for it.
I don't know if I'm jumping the gun on this, but I remember one of the questions was in regards to Sailor Moon, and what you said kind of reminded me of that. Am I allowed to jump the gun on that?
Jump every gun. Jump all the guns.
Okay, because I love Sailor Moon. I absolutely love Sailor Moon, and I feel like it's not surprising that the creator was fond of Jetman based on what you said, with these slight variations. Sailor Jupiter has, she's kind of buff. And then, Mercury has her little, headset thingy, and so there's, little variations and stuff like that, or, the little waist thingy. I don't know if you guys have seen Sailor Moon, I'm assuming. Maybe
yes.
That's weird.
What? Sailor what?
Sailor Moon! But,
Are you talking about that really famous manga and anime by Naoko Takeuchi?
It would be, really weird if you didn't know.
Wife to, what is it, Yoshihiro Togashi, artist and author of Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho. Is that the same? Are we talking about?
No, we're not.
That was the worst thing. I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. But again, I don't want to drop spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen, and for you too, of course. But trying to think of a way to say this without totally spoiling things, but there is some heavy soap opera stuff in Jetman, which surprised me, love triangles and just but I love you, no, but I love you, and I was like, wait a minute, what? I feel like it was some kind of weird fan fiction I would have wrote myself. So it doesn't really surprise me, because it does get kind of soap opera-y is the best way I can put it, which isn't bad, it just wasn't expected. So yeah, I kind of was like, is this a sprinkle of magical romance or something? Not what I expected.
That's awesome.
I think that's sort of the nature of it. Yeah, because, if you think about it, right, we think about at least the modern stuff, or even on the whole as a kid's show that's, it is aimed at kids, but it is surprising whenever they actually try to bring a little bit of the dramatic element and then maybe, give it a real swing with that.
Yeah.
I don't know, melodrama. Have you seen, I guess if we're thinking about an audience, this is not maybe typical of what you would expect for something aimed at, let's say, 10 or younger year olds.
Yeah.
Maybe something like Degrassi is closer to what you expect from drama. I'm sorry.
Just, like...
we watched Degrassi sometimes. So
okay. I'm not judging. It's fine. It's just
okay, great.
I didn't really expect it to be like, oh no, I lost my lover. Oh no, I love you. Oh no, but I love you. But wait a minute, I love you. And it's like, wait, this is Jetman, right? Right, fam? Like, we're gonna come back in and we're gonna put the suit on, right? So, yeah, it gets a little dramatic, but it's welcome for me, because I found myself extra invested. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a henshin is mandatory per episode, so, like, even if there's only, like, 5-ish minutes left, no matter what the drama is, we're gonna see a little bit of that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's the only guarantee.
Yeah, pretty much.
We also didn't see the mecha this time around, so... Our opening tagline falls flat this week.
Oh.
A little bit.
But that's fine. Like, I honestly, I appreciate when a series doesn't use it every episode. I don't know that it will, or if it will, just hasn't yet. Defeating a giant monster and not needing the robot is always cool to me.
I appreciate that too. Like, again, I kind of always fall back to, I was a little kid watching Mighty Morphin, and I expected a formula. Like, hey, it's Saved by the Bell. Hey, guys, it's time to go beat the bad guy. You know what I mean? And this, I would say this hasn't been like that at all. Like, sometimes it's like, are we going to get Jet Icarus out? Nah. It's like, well, okay, if we don't need it, fam, I guess, conserve energy or something.
Budget.
Recycle.
Red just totally blasted the monster in the second episode. He was like, I kind of got like a little leaky side here with the pipe. And Red's like, see you, dude.
Blam!
I was like, oh, man, that was stone cold.
We don't need no Hisatsu for this. This guy is out. Put that fuel away, boy.
I'm going to throw out a little fun fact, too, as somebody who loves Zoo Ranger. Like, Geki is actually in Jetman. Ooh! I won't say where, but yeah, he makes a cool appearance. So, yeah.
That's fun.
I mean, he's not playing Geki, the character, obviously. He's somebody else, but yeah.
Well, that's great. Now, I'm curious. I'm going to look it up after the show if I get a chance. But the Yellow Ranger... in this, he kind of reminds me of the turtle guy in Die Ranger a little bit.
That's right. Yeah, we were talking about that.
He makes me... He's at least a similar character with a similar look with the glasses and everything. I don't think the turtle guy grew cucumbers and was quite so proud of it, but they have a similar look. I want to check that out when we get done.
Oh, I have to throw this out here too, and I'm sorry if I get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure Red's jacket says Sky Game Posh Boy, and that is the best thing. Like,
wow.
You can't beat that. Like, that's so good.
Is it too late to change my @ That's like, whew, that's a good handle, Sky Game Posh Boy.
I know, right?
Wow.
So good.
I gotta look that up. Sky Game Posh Boy.
Like, if I had a scale of, like, how good is this Red, he's kissing 10. I really like him. Yes, I measure a series worth on how much I like the Red.
Look, as long as your metric is consistent, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Although, let's be real here, I don't think I've met one. Oh, no, there is, but we'll save that for another day.
Oh.
Red drama, I know, right?
Well, you're going back on your haven't met a Red I didn't like.
Well,
but,
it's...
to be continued, I guess.
This is probably the only season where I'm like, I love Red, don't get me wrong, but, Black, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing this to my heart? Stop it. Oh. Okay, it's Dino Charge, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I know that's not what we're talking about here, but... I mean, don't get me wrong,
But Coda is so good. I don't want to get on Dino Charge thing. We'll talk. We'll have you on for a Dino Charge episode 2 at some point.
Oh, that would be so fun. I would absolutely love to give you my
Dino Charge
opinions.
I'm a huge Dino Charge apologist, and I know this about myself.
Oh, well, it's a good season. I liked it, but it's no Jetman. Let's be real here.
Well, no, it is not. Do we have any other thoughts before we hop into Twitter questions, gang?
Yeah.
I really like that ending sequence. That sort of what don't you want to call it? That like magazine cutout with mechanical animation.
It kind of made me think of like Sunday school felt board. I don't know if anybody else had these experiences growing up like I did, but like the little felt. like thing in Sunday school a little bit? Anybody?
Yeah.
It's just me.
I kind of get it. I get what you mean.
I just love the line that, like, my heart is like a small egg and it'll hatch by tomorrow. It's so cute.
I was not looking at the lyrics. I was so distracted.
Oh, cool guy. Come on.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, cool guy, and
Cool
then
guy.
Raita with the anime meat.
Yes.
Anime meats.
Oh, anime meat. And well, what did you say, Pat? That it was like a around the world in 80 days kind of vibe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
we got
definitely
the
what it is.
just Skyman hot air balloon pilot theme. And it was just, man, I want to fly, guys. Like, everyone wants to fly.
I'm, like, super biased, but I do think Jetman needs more birds. It just needs more birds. Like, I wanted bird puns and stuff. And, like you guys were saying, like, the suits aren't, like, I'm a bird. Like, it's not intensely bird. And that's good, because I agree, the suits are fantastic, and I love, like, the arm wings and the little beak and stuff. But I feel like the bird motif is kind of subtle throughout, and I love birds, okay?
Gee, I had no idea.
Birds, okay?
Good burbs.
Burbs.
Sweet burbs.
Borbs.
The Borbs.
Yes.
All right, so hopping into our question segment. So, first one comes to us from friend of the podcast, Tom Osnable. He asks 2 questions. Being that this is a Keita Amamiya joint, do you feel like you can pick up on his personal stamp? And the second one is to also have any of you guys ever played the Famicom game? So, I guess we'll
I think I need
that.
to play the game, but
Yeah, I've never played it. I wish I knew.
I haven't played it, but I have seen it, and it looks like something I would heavily love. It kind of reminds me of, like, Shatterhand, sort of. I don't know if you guys have ever played that, and it has a super rockin', like, NES soundtrack. It's pretty rad. So, shout out to whoever asked that question. You got some good taste.
Tom's a good dude. Tom's a real good dude.
maybe on a stream. Maybe on a stream we'll check it out or something.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I'd be watching.
I didn't. I wouldn't have. I'm really, really horrible about production notes and staff, but when he mentioned it was Keita Amamiya, I was kind of keeping my eye open a little bit while we were watching, and, like, the monster designs and stuff definitely give me that vibe, very, very much in the vein of something like Zerum or whatever. So yeah, I definitely felt that, at least in the monster designs and the just the amazing villains as we discuss. That's where I felt it the strongest. Okay, I killed the conversation. Okay, so moving on to the next.
No.
Moving on to the next good buddy, Ian, who's also been on the show. She asked, my question would be, have you ever seen or read any iteration of Sailor Moon?
Woohoo!
And if so, would you be at all surprised to learn that Jetman is also one of Takeuchi's favorite Sentai?
Not at all. Like, not even a little surprised. Like, I love Sailor Moon. I love, like, let's fight monsters. I just, like, stole the question. I'm so sorry.
Well, you brought it up earlier, so
Yeah.
you're the leader
Like,
on this one, I think.
Oh, like,
Take the point,
okay,
Daisy.
thank you. But, like, I love the whole, like, we're magical girls and we have to beat this monster, but I love you and we have tension here and I'm gonna smooch you. Oh, don't do that. I'm so confused. You know, and, like, that vibe, I definitely get that from Jetman. I mean, not the first 2 episodes, because it was a lot of, like, rush, meet new people, but, like, I'm just not surprised. As someone who likes, like, kissy hug drama, let's fight the bad guy in a weird suit type of stuff, then yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Oh my goodness.
No, totally.
No.
Totally.
I mean, that's why we're here, I think. It's just...
We're here for kissy drama punch?
The romance aspect of it is something I'm just not used to in this, which I appreciate just for the sort of the novelty of it. Like, I mean, within the first 3 minutes, we saw some characters holding hands, and I was like, whoa, like, cool.
There,
like,
it gets
all
intense. Like, I would say the love triangle stuff, and it's not even just a triangle, like, every character has some kind of love interest type thing going on, and it's never just like, oh, I have a crush on them. It's always like, I have a crush on you, it's really complicated, oh my god. Yeah, like,
Okay.
it doesn't stop. Although I haven't seen The Commander with anyone. Spoilers, sorry. But I haven't finished, so... But yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
Even our boy Yellow Owl, he's got more than one thing going on, and it's like, yo.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like, everybody.
My boy.
Everybody has some kind of, like, oh no, my feelings. So, yeah. If you dig feelings and you dig birds, have a seat, friend.
Well, I mean, I think, obviously I'm in for all of those things. That's what I'm here for. But I think Jetman obviously wears its heart on its sleeve because in 2 episodes we've had at least 2 instances of someone dramatically turning to someone else, grabbing them by the shoulders, and just yelling at them about really anything. Like, that's what I'm here for. Like, that is exactly the kind of drama that I want. It doesn't matter what's going on. It could just be like, your coffee's done. Like, it doesn't matter. So you gotta grab them by the shoulders and just yell at them.
Oh, I forgot. There's even love interest stuff with the bad guys, and more than one. Like, not just like, I feel like I expect the bad guy to be like, haha, I'm in love with you, and you should be mine, and I don't understand love because I'm bad. But that's, like, really shallow. This is different. Like, there's more than one love thing going on with the villains, and it's like, whew, sometimes I just gotta go, Jetman, sit down, honey, come on. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so, like, if you like that kind of thing, let's talk.
There's not, we need more time in the day,
I
man.
know!
Like, not.
Seriously.
Can't.
It was so hard not to scream spoilers, because, like, I know them now. I know who's a dog and who's a good bean, so I'm like,
So, Megalolinks asks us, is Commander Odagiri the best, or is Commander Odagiri the best? That's a tough one.
The best.
That's a real tough call.
I would let her punch me any day.
I think I'm going to have to go with best, you know?
Yeah.
That's a tough call.
I'm going to have to go against you on that, and I think I'm going to have to say that she's the best.
Yeah,
that's definitely, it's definitely what's happening.
I can't back down on that position.
Yeah. No, that's it. There's no other discussion to have. All right, so moving on.
Okay.
She is the best. She definitely is.
Yeah.
Okay, so from Victor Perfecto, he asks us, do you think more Sentai shows would benefit from that Cyclops-Wolverine dynamic that Red Hawk and Black Condor have? I love this question, and I love
That's
the way
a
it's
great way to put
Yes.
it. I almost wish I didn't read it when the questions
Right?
were coming in, because I was like, oh boy, here it comes. But
Yeah, that's perfect.
Man.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I feel like their relationship is such a huge part of the whole show. Like, there was some major foreshadowing with that, and, like, sometimes I'm like, are you two, like, into each other? Because it doesn't stop. It's just a lot of, like, I'm a good boy, and I'm gonna do the right thing, and I'm a bad boy, and I don't care.
We just need and you don't even need, like, Jean Grey in the middle for them to both.
Not really.
Well, I'm not gonna spoil anything.
All right. Actually, we technically already have some kind of phoenix risen from the ashes, but
that's not even the level of I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think the thing that, you know, for me, Mighty Morphin being it really set the mold for me. I really love, and I think it almost is, for me, it's one of those things I love about Sentai too, but like the way Jason and Zach, like Jason was clearly the team leader, but Zach was like I mean, again, this is a lot of it is sort of added on, but, you know, because the characters were pretty poorly and inconsistently written, but Jason's the strong lead and Zach is the confident second, and like they're best friends, and they were almost more like co-leads, really, and that Zach was almost more like the tactical one and Jason was more the take action one, and like their dynamic of like working together like that, which definitely kind of mirrored the dynamic that Red and Black had a little bit in Zyuranger anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
they were best friends and they were sort of co-leaders together rather than just Red leading per se. But of course, you know, I still like the Cyclops Wolverine dynamic. It's very much, you know, Rider and secondary Rider. Let's shout at each other and fight in the middle. I mean, you know, in episode 2 where Black is like, I'm not even going to participate in the team attack, and it's not like I just disappeared. I'm going to stand here and be really sassy about it, flip my gun around, and let you know.
Attitude.
Like, he didn't just, like, leave. He's like, no, I'm going to wait for you guys to notice. Oh, did you notice? Let me tell you why. That's good. That's just good character. And then he punched him at the end of episode 2 in the mouth.
So I misread that scene a little bit. Was when he was lighting a cigarette, when Black Condor was lighting a cigarette, what was Red doing? Did he take it from him to light it for him, or did he take it from him like, you shouldn't be smoking,
I'm pretty
pal?
sure it was like, I'm gonna light this for you as a gesture of goodwill, and then Guy
he
was
couldn't
like,
get it to catch or whatever.
Yeah, no. So
Yeah, okay. That's right. I was like, what's the message
like,
here?
I
guess
feel like
smoking's
Ryu's a
cool
good
still,
boy.
or they don't care.
He doesn't have any like ill will. I feel like he's just a good boy. I don't know. He's just a big, handsome, good boy.
All right, Daisy, calm down.
I love my Reds. Posh boy, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Posh boy and cool guy.
Oh, my lord.
Yeah.
So from our good buddy Behelite Bebop, they ask, well, first they say, oh my god, yes, Jetman is my fave. I mean, look, yes. And then my question would be, who's your favorite ranger out of the team once you finish your first 2 episodes?
Oh no.
I'm gonna pick. I mean, I get it. Reds are cool, but I'm really excited about Yellow. Like, I want to know more about him. That's my feeling. Like,
so Daisy clearly doesn't like Red. It's someone else on the team
no.
that's her favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would be easier for me to say who I don't like.
Yeah.
But after 2 episodes, it's hard to say, because you don't get to know them that well. I love Red and I love Black, but Blue is wonderful. Like, Blue is really great. Yellow Owl is pretty good. He has his, like, really good moments and his moments, but I'm just gonna sit here on Pink. I'm just gonna cross my arms.
Yeah, I think for me it's probably Blue. It's a very little arc.
Akko is so good.
But she, she goes out and she's like, she shows off a little bit. So she's kind of got that sort of, bad streak like Black does a little bit. But she also is like, yeah, I'm showing off, but I'll help you out. Like, that's kind of a cool,
yeah.
I dig that character personality. Like, she's like, yeah, I'm really great at this and I want everybody to see, but I will help you guys get to like national or whatever. And then later she's like, I want to get paid for this. I want $15. And then she gets, like $100,000 for it. And then she's like, you know what? Actually, you can have it back because I'm just all in on this. I think this is great.
She still likes her dollars, though. I'm just saying.
Right. Well, and she knows, like, I'm about to be fighting like space monsters. I should be getting paid for this. But then she's like, I'm all in. I actually do want to help people. It's great. So I really like her. I like her quite a bit. All right, so then this one comes to us from my good buddy 27, and they ask us, how many layers of Birdonic energy are you on right now?
I think it's just 2, right? That was just 1 and 2. So not enough is the answer, I'm going to have to say.
I don't know. I don't know if you can quantify, my Birdonic energy. I'm basically underneath a giant, like, crystalline column, and I'm being sprayed with Birdonic energy, and I'm sweating profusely and screaming. And everyone around me is wearing shades, so that's just like that's where I'm at right now.
I'm at like Birdonic energy saxophone level. I'm just saying, like, I'm like
crushed.
Yeah,
saxophone.
like saxophone and a varsity jacket that says Posh Boy. That's where my Birdonic levels are.
If you put on a scouter and tried to read Daisy's Birdonic energy, it would just say saxophone in all caps, like blinking, like saxophone,
with
saxophone,
like 10
saxophone.
Exclamation points.
Before it explodes, right?
Yes,
Just...
and the explosion is a saxophone noise. Okay. Oh my goodness.
That's perfect. That's the best thing.
Oh boy.
So David Bednar asks us, in honor of Gray, if you were an evil robot, how classy would you be?
It would be hard to be as classy as Gray. I mean, I don't feel like you guys really got to know Gray yet, but very cool.
He's smoking a cigarette in space.
Yeah.
He's a robot that smokes a
None of the
cigarette. He's already
aliens.
Bender level. I mean...
Yeah. That's quite classy there.
Again, the villains in Jetman, pretty good. Pretty good. Like, I like him.
I want to know more,
Yeah.
I'm very interested.
I gotta admit, I do not think I would be a very classy robot. I think my level of robot class is much closer to the opening sequence robot that is just a crane with a laser and a red light that's just running around. It doesn't know what it's doing. It's just screaming and shooting lasers, and someone just has to slap its buttons and shut it off. Like, that's
yeah.
big mood.
Okay. I thought
Big
you meant like
mood,
a
as the
literal
kids
crane,
say.
because there is some crane stuff going on, but you meant like that little like knockoff R2-D2 that was like, I'm having
that
issues.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm having a moment, and I need a break.
I completely
that's
forgot that
definitely-
happened.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a threat.
Yeah.
It was just like, R2, calm down, come on.
He was
I'm
just
gonna
running
push
I
around
would have
shooting.
guessed that you would be the jet with the arms, but I guess it wasn't technically a robot.
Wow. Okay, Pat. I thought we were friends. You're just gonna call me muscly monster jet arms. Ouch. Okay.
All right then. That was trying to use it as a compliment, but fine.
Tag yourself,
wow.
right? Tag yourself, I'm Jet with arms.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh,
Jeez.
I love Jetman. Oh my goodness. I can't.
Jetman
I'm
is
trying to
great.
keep a cap on it because, like, you know me, your girl can go. I can just... Lord.
Phew.
Oh, well, guys, that was a lot of fun. Daisy, thank you so much for being on. Please tell the people of all the different things that you do and where they can find you, and plug.
Oh, yeah, I don't even think I said, hi, my name is Daisy. Hi, I'm Daisy. You can find me on Twitter primarily, Daisy Ein. That's me everywhere, DaisyEin.com. I made a game called Tiny Bird Garden, free to play on iOS and Android. Just type in Tiny Bird Garden, hey. And you can play my game that's all about cute little birds. So that might be why I like Jetman so much, because I'm kind of a bird lady. And thank you both so much for having me. This was, like, crazy fun, and I would absolutely love to visit again if you ever want to hit those birdonic waves. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm an artist. I forgot to mention that part. I draw stuff. I don't just talk about birds. I draw things. Sorry.
And you draw very well. You're an incredibly talented artist.
Thank you so much, friends. You're very sweet.
Well, guys, this was fun.
It was.
I'm glad we were able to pull it off.
Yeah, I was afraid the birdonic power would be too much for us, but we were able to handle it. So.
Oh, yeah.
In the end, we were cool guys.
Very cool guys. Very posh boys.
In the end, I'll be eating Anna meat.
Going to that big Anna meat banquet in the sky.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks for tuning in to the Super Senpai Podcast. We'll notice you again next time.
Super Senpai Podcast.